In today's video, I'll be telling you about the basics and fundamentals of bicep muscle, its exercises, some of the ways you can train it, the correct technique and form of training the bicep muscle, and also avoiding injuries while you're at it. Hey fit people, Kush here and welcome you to the Meta Muscle. Now today's video. Today we'll be talking about a very interesting subject, a muscle group that for some reason everybody across the board is very excited for. Any guesses? Alright, I'll give you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Biceps. Okay, if you got that, kudos to you. If you didn't, that's what I'm here for. Now today we'll be talking about biceps, and one of the reasons why I chose biceps to be one of my first videos is because, well, everybody loves those guns, right? Okay, so in this video we'll be talking about two things, very important two things about biceps, and those two things are the basics and fundamentals of bicep training. Now you might ask, what are the basics and fundamentals of bicep training? Let me explain. The difference between taking just an exercise from an internet and then copying it, doing the repetition over and over again is one thing, but then understanding why that exercise works, how our muscles work, how our joints work in conjunction with our muscles to make that exercise viable, and how can we do those exercises to make them safer and to make sure we get the best results out of them as possible. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright. In this first part of the video, I'll be telling you about the basic anatomy and function of the bicep muscle. The bicep muscle have two heads, short head and the long head. They originate from the inside upper part of your shoulder blade, and also the long head originates from the upper part of your humerus, that's the upper arm bone. And then they insert in the radius, also known as your forearm bone. One of your forearm bones, mind me. Now, the function of the bicep muscle, the primary function of the bicep muscle is to flex the elbow. But there is also a secondary function of the bicep muscle, and that function is, while your elbow is slightly flexed, it's to rotate your forearm. You can see it right here in the video. It's to rotate your forearm outward. Now, we know now how bicep looks like. We know the basic function of the bicep. What can we do to train it? Let's have a look. In this section of the video, I will be telling you about 3 of the basic and most important bicep exercises you need to do if you want to increase your muscle size and definition. And who don't like those guns? Okay, so here I'm gonna be taking help of my own videos, where using which I will explain you how to do a bicep exercise correctly. Now before I start, you notice I rotate my shoulders and bring my chest out, and I do that because while you're doing your bicep curls, you don't want your shoulders to be drooped forward. You want them to be up. You want them to be up and back and no shrugs, back and down and your chest out. And you want that because one very obvious reason is you don't want to decrease your range of motion. And second one, the less obvious one, is sometimes while you're crouching your shoulders and you're doing the bicep curls, you can pull a thing or two, and sometimes it results in shoulder injury. So shoulders back, chest out. And now we start to curl. Remember, while I'm curling here, notice this, that I'm not just starting out with a flat out grip and just curling up, or with a hammer grip and just curling up. The bicep curls I like to do, the dumbbell bicep curls I like to do, is I start out like hammer curls and then I curl them up as I go up, because as we discussed earlier, the secondary function of the bicep is to rotate your forearm. So let's make use of that once our elbows starts flexing. So that's the basic way of doing the basic bicep curl, the correct form of doing it. Now moving ahead, there's a demonstration of hammer curls for you. Again, shoulders back, chest out. You start with neutral grip beside you and then you curl the weight up. You do it one hand or two, that's totally on you, or depends on your training program. So you curl the weight up, straight up all the way, contract your muscle maximum at the upper edge of your rep and then go down. Okay, again do the same, repeat. Another way of doing bicep dumbbell curl is, like I mentioned in the beginning, that you can also flat out your grip and do. I like to do the ones where I rotate my arm as I come up, but also sometimes I would just take the flat out grip and do some reps, do a couple of sets here and there. And that's because while I flat my grip out and I go down in my rep in the bicep curl, I feel better stretch. I feel a better stretch at the lowest most part of the bicep. So again, it all depends on your training program. Okay, and in the end, the last demonstration I have for you guys here is the basic barbell curl. Again, the same thing, guys. You gotta hold your bar correctly and then rotate your shoulders back, bring your chest out, and then start curling it slowly. Come up, contract your biceps as much as possible consciously at the top of your rep. Go down, let it relax. Okay. Another way, sometimes when the weight gets heavy, a little bit heavier, sometimes if you're just, your legs are, if they're just beside each other, it's hard to maintain a balance. You start rocking. So for that, sometimes what I like to do is I place one foot forward, one foot back, so that now I can rock in between. I mean, I don't have to rock in between. Now I can balance myself in between them while doing any of the bicep curls, especially the barbell ones. Okay, now we're done talking about how to do these exercises. What are the basic exercises you can do for your biceps? Let's talk about some of the common mistakes. So the first common mistake that I see that most beginners make, or sometimes even people who've been training for a while actually around the gym, is swinging the weights while doing bicep curls. I don't get it. Yeah, you can lift heavier weights, maybe. I mean, yeah, your dumbbell might say 20 pounds, where with proper form you could be lifting 5 pounds, but are you really lifting the 20 pounds, or is it just the momentum doing the work? So here's a demonstration with lighter dumbbells of me doing the bicep curls incorrectly. So the way to do bicep curls incorrectly is swing the hell up, don't use any muscle at all. Do not let your body feel the stress of the weights, don't let that weight pull you down. Just swing it up, bang some reps and look all cool. No, don't actually do that. Swinging weights is dangerous and also ineffective. Ineffective because while you're swinging the weights, your muscles aren't actually working as hard. And the point of going to the gym or even working out at home, the point of working out and training our muscles against resistance is to grow them, right? But if it's just to lift heavier weights for the sake of lifting heavier weights, then you can just buy a forklift, lift heavier weights. That's one way to do it. It's ineffective if you swing your weights, because then you're not going to use enough resistance in your muscles and you're just wasting your time and energy. And it's also dangerous. So that was a demonstration of one way of doing the bicep curl incorrectly. Here we have another demonstration of doing bicep curl incorrectly with a bar this time. So with a bar, it's actually more dangerous to swing the weights, and that's because while you're swinging the weights, unlike dumbbell, the bar cannot go behind your body, so you cannot use the motion and the momentum from behind to bring the weight up. While you're swinging the barbell, you see, just like I demonstrate here, your body, your waist goes back to give a little bit of space. You swing it up, but the biggest problem that happens is when you swing the weight up like this, your back overarches, and when that heavy weight is on top of you and you are overarching your back with the momentum, it's very, very easy to hurt it. It's very easy to get a back injury doing a bicep curl. Also, you can do all of the same bicep exercises, the bicep curls, the hammer curls, on a cable machine as well. Here's a demonstration for you. Oh, look at me banging the weights even at the cable machine, you know, trying to use the momentum. We can cut. That's just to show you guys how not to do it, you know. Before we get to the end of the video, I'd like to mention 2 tips. First, every time you go for a bicep workout, make sure you remember to focus on the contraction of your muscle at the top of your rep. It helps to maximize the efficiency of your workout and get you the best gains. And second, it's very important to listen to your body, and if you're experiencing any pain while doing bicep workout, there are 2 things you can do. First of all, you can try decreasing the weight, and second of all, try correcting your form again. If those 2 things does not help though, I would recommend go to a doctor. See a doctor, see if there's an injury, and take rest, recover, get back to the game. Thanks for joining me for this video. I hope this video has helped you learn about the fundamentals of bicep muscle and its exercises. I'm your host Kush, and you're watching The Meta Muscle. Until next time.